What's good, YouTube? It's your boy The Ghouls, and today we're back for episode number 30. The fuck am I doing? Hold on. I'm an idiot. That was episode 34 last episode. This is episode number 35. Damn! So, Courtney Scythe will testify,
explaining the full extent of your involvement in the murder apparently committed by Mr. Trapper.
Very well.
Yeah. I have yet to actually read it, so I don't know. I don't know anything about what happens.
It all began at the scene when I saw the waxwork and the note tucked inside its jacket. The actual body of the victim, as indicated by the note's instructions, was beneath the experimentation stage. The body had to be arranged in certain ways to
Wait, no. I was gonna say that she stabbed him, but that's a... No, yeah, she would have put it back up top, because the thing was closed and it was open.
The body had to be arranged in certain ways to implicate the defendant, which was my job. I enlisted the help of the entire forensic investigation team to dress the scene appropriately. The truth about the execution 10 years ago is a state secret of the highest level. I had to protect it.
Yeah, because you pressed statement 3. So I was right. The stage and the machine were all specially designed for the deception. Yeah, he wouldn't have died from that fall.
So it seems, and all meticulously prepared. You did well to see through it. You're a very shrewd boy.
So kind of you to say.
And what about this autopsy report then?
All I did was record the location of the body as being in the crystal tower instead of under the stage.
Let me, turn the lights off.
That's all? That's a terrible corruption!
Only my team were aware of the deceit, and then under my explicit instructions. Nobody else at Scotland Yard knew anything about it, I assure you.
We must be thankful for small mercies, I suppose. Well, I believe that testimony has clarified everything. There's no particular need for cross-examination, I would say.
No, I disagree. I can't shake the feeling that something's wrong. Just look at that expression on Dr. Scythe's face. It's the defense's right to cross-examine any witnesses following testimony.
What is it about you Japanese that makes you all so doggedly persistent?
Very well. If you so desire, counsel, proceed with the cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. Yeah, because something doesn't add up. Now that I think about that. So I need to press statement 3. Yeah. When you say arranged, I presume you mean with this.
Yes, the instructions in the engineer's note said something along the lines of fabricate some evidence and make it clear that Hairbrain alone could have killed Osman.
So, you mean that was your doing?
I fetched Hairbrain's ridiculous screwdriver from the stage and took it with me alone to the abyss under the stage where the birdcage had fallen.
Alone, Doctor?
I didn't feel it would be appropriate to involve anybody else in that particular part of the deception.
Huh.
There was a void under the stage where I found the birdcage lying in the dirt. I approached it, leaned down, and slowly opened it up. Then I took the screwdriver in both hands and plunged it into the man's chest.
And then you noted that in your fake autopsy report as a fictitious cause of death.
Exactly.
So the actual cause of death was...
the trauma resulting from a 30-foot drop.
My word!
What is it, Miss Susato?
Something about Dr. Scythe's last statement. It's playing on my mind, that's all.
Yeah, mine too. Dr. Scythe!
There's really no need to shout. I can hear you perfectly well.
The defense calls for you to add what you just said to your formal testimony.
Oh, which part?
about what she did to the victim. How you stabbed Mr. Osmond in the chest. That part.
Fine, if that's what you want, but there's really no need to point. The prosecution concurs!
Very well, you'll supplement your testimony now, witness.
If you wish, my lord.
Okay, so now on the new statement 4, present photograph of the victim, which is like way earlier.
Objection!
Yeah. Oh. I've got a nasty feeling that this inconsistency points to an extremely uncomfortable truth.
What on earth is the matter, Counsel? Have you lost your tongue?
I apologize, my lord. Dr. Scythe, in that last statement of yours, there's just one point that seems to defy explanation.
Out with it, my learned friend.
There's an obvious inconsistency between your description and this photograph, which shows the victim in the birdcage following the events that led to his death.
The court has already examined that photograph in depth. There's nothing new we can learn from it.
Objection. No. Yes, we have considered it already, that's true. But now we know the real facts.
What do you mean?
I believe we should let the defense explain. Where would we see the inconsistency? It'd be right here, this bloody stain.
Look closely at the bloodstain on the victim's chest. It clearly extends in a downward direction towards the man's feet.
And why is that significant, Counsel? If the victim was stabbed moments before the kinesis machine was set in motion, that's entirely expected. Ah! Of course, no, that's not what happened.
Exactly, my lord. Dr. Scythe made it very clear in her testimony just now that the point at which she stole Professor Hairbrain's screwdriver and stabbed the victim was after the grand deception was set in motion, when the birdcage had fallen below the stage out of sight. From the shape of it, it's clear that the birdcage would have fallen on its side after the 30-foot drop, and if the victim had really been stabbed whilst inside the birdcage in that position, the blood from the wound would have spread out equally in all directions. For it to have formed the longitudinal appearance we see in the picture is inconceivable. Given that the victim's blood seeped vertically downwards from the wound, it must be the case that when you stabbed Mr. Osmond, he was standing up. In short, Dr. Scythe, your latest testimony was a total fabrication. Oh, shit. I knew it. I was right. Now I've identified that contradiction. There's only one way to explain the facts. We've all been under a great misapprehension here.
What? What sort of misapprehension?
Dr. Scythe, you claim you were coerced into helping Mr. Drebber as a result of the note he left in the waxwork. You claim that you made changes to the scene of the crime to implicate the defendant. And you claim that you authored a fake autopsy report to cover your tracks. But one of those claims is an out-and-out lie, because the question of what the bloodstain really tells us has only one possible answer.
If that is the case, what is it, man?
Counsel, you've clearly struck upon a revelation. Now tell the court what it is. Which part of Dr. Scythe's story is shown to be a lie?
The stabbing of the victim. The answer is very simple if you consider the sequence of events. If, when the victim was stabbed, the blood from the wound seeped downwards as it did, we can be sure that the victim must have been either sitting or standing upright at the time.
But as you rightly pointed out, the birdcage would have fallen on its side when it fell beneath the stage.
Yes, it would, which tells us that the victim must have been in that position of his own accord.
Objection!
That's impossible! The man was dead, remember?
No! That is the misapprehension! When the birdcage fell from the stage into the void below, it must have hit the ground with considerable force. But Mr. Osmond didn't die in the fall. He probably lost consciousness for a while, but when he came round, he got to his feet to climb out of the cage. Just as Dr. Scythe appeared. If the victim was in fact alive at that point in time, it changes everything. Mr. Odie Osmond's killer wasn't the defendant, Professor Albert Harebrain, nor was it the mastermind behind the stage trickery, Mr. Enoch Drebber. It was you, Dr. Courtney Scythe!
Can this possibly be true?
Have you been taking me for a fool? It was you, was it? You killed him! You hoped that by admitting to being an accomplice in Mr. Drebber's scheme, the trial would end, before you were accused of a far worse crime! Cold-blooded murder!
Oh, do shut up! You're so desperate now, you're making all this up! As if I would do something like that!
I assure you, the defense is not desperate, Doctor! Mr. Naruhodo has established the facts using evidence and logic alone!
Ha! Logic? Don't make me laugh! Sadly, your logic has a gaping hole in it! What? What do you mean? I'd have thought it was obvious. A motive, boy. You're lacking a motive. What possible reason would I have to kill Mr. Osmond?
Osmond was involved in a number of criminal activities, from coercion to theft to murder. But there's no known connection to Dr. Scythe there.
I'm rather relieved to say it does seem rather far-fetched.
True, there's no obvious motive. But there's still something in the back of my mind. I feel sure I've seen something somewhere that hints as why the coroner might have done this.
Yes, I might have tampered with the crime scene and concocted a fake report, but murdering someone for no reason's a very different story.
Objection. No. When you questioned what possible reason you could have for wanting to kill Mr. Osmond, something did come to mind.
What?
What is it, Counsel? Enlighten the court at once!
Yes, we saw it yesterday, didn't we? Something that seemed strange, but we had no reason to suspect it at the time. There's a particular object that explains why Dr. Scythe would have wanted to kill Mr. Osmond. It's a scalpel, or rather, scalpels.
Did you say scalpels?
Oh!
It would appear that the word has struck a chord, Doctor!
You! Come on, out with it!
It was yesterday when we visited your laboratory. Look at this big, thick book here.
It appears to be an accounting ledger. It's a record of the forensic investigation team spending, I think. Oh?
What is it?
It's clear that the team purchases various equipment and supplies on a monthly basis, but, well, one entry seems rather strange.
Really? In what way?
They're buying 500 scalpels every month!
500 scalpels a month?
At first, I wondered what on earth you could be using that many scalpels for. But actually, I realize now it's not the scalpels themselves that are significant. It's the money for them, disappearing every month from the department's accounts.
Osmond's criminal organization relied heavily on extortion for its funding, tracing the money from the forensic investigation team's account to find out where it was going. Would be extremely straightforward.
10 years ago, when Mr. Osmond was still a journalist and wrote this article about Mr. Drebber, he may well have stumbled upon information as he was researching the story. Information relating to Dr. Scythe's darkest secret that he would use to rack money from her for the next decade.
Her darkest secret? Good lord, you mean?
I don't know what happened then on the night of the execution 10 years ago, but clearly the opportunity to rid yourself of that menace was too tempting to pass up. So in the end, you weren't coerced at all, were you? You did it entirely of your own free will. You stabbed Mr. Osmond in the heart with all your might! To silence the blackmailer who knew your dark secret forever!
You never understand! None of you! What we've had to keep covered up all these long years! What? As very little of the machine remains after it was ripped apart by the bomb. The truth of this case can never be properly established unless you speak out.
And if you decide not to, it's very possible that Courtney Scythe will escape punishment for her crimes. Please, sir, own up to what you've done and tell the court the truth about what happened. 10 years ago, you told the truth, and you were robbed of a bright and successful future as a result. I can certainly understand your bitterness and your consternation now. However, this is surely the chance you've been waiting for, to sever the hold that fate's had over you all these years.
Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis? I mean, really? It's the addle-brained mock scientists that are the worst, you know. They don't recognize the fact that they don't have talent. They can't even get that right. And so they end up chasing impossible dreams, having unbridled faith in their abilities. They go on and on about their wonderful hypotheses, their stupid eyes shining like a little child's. They make me sick. I can't abide their foolishness.
Careful, Mr. Drebber.
I was particularly pleased with the kinesis machine. It made for quite a show, didn't it?
So you admit it. You admit that it was nothing more than a sham made for the purpose of killing the victim.
Yes, I admit it. I did it all in the name of revenge.
Revenge for the future that Mr. Osmond's article had deprived you of 10 years earlier. But the revenge you sought didn't stop at Osmond, did it?
Which is where that very particular waxwork comes in. Yes, I see. The condemned convict that you saw rising from the grave in Logate Cemetery 10 years ago. If your account of those events was all true,
Oh, fuck, hold on.
then obviously Scotland Yard couldn't afford to acknowledge what had happened, even if it meant discrediting a bright young man and crushing any future career he might have had.
So your plan required that you abducted that particular waxwork model in order to exact your revenge on Scotland Yard or on Dr. Scythe, to be precise. Jesus Christ, to be precise.
It was a year ago. By some extraordinary twist of fate, Osmond turned up at my workshop. He didn't remember who I was, of course. He just wanted to employ my services as an engineer. And he happened to have a paper with him. An article on the front page caught my eye about the coroner who'd handled that bogus autopsy being appointed head of a new forensic team. When I learned that news, my cognitive processes started to devise the plan.
What a horrid tale.
He robbed me of my future, so I wanted to use the man's own wiles against him for revenge, and have that rotten Scotland Yard eating out of my hand at the same time. I want them all to suffer the same humiliation I'd had to suffer.
Susano's so earnest. Maybe she is like an actual teenager. Like she, you know what I mean? Like she just gets so like emotionally invested in this shit. Your actions against those who'd ruined your future were justified as revenge, at least to yourself. Certainly, no one has the right to destroy another's prospects, especially for purely selfish gain. And yet, in carrying out your plan, you did exactly that to someone else, didn't you?
Did I?
Professor Hairbrain's only crime was passion for his hypothesis, but you had no compunction about sacrificing his future to effect your revenge. You knew that he would forever be branded a failure and a fraud. Perhaps life treated you unfairly 10 years ago, and others' misconduct left your life in tatters. But remember this. Your own actions resulted in exactly the same thing for another perfectly innocent young man!
Lord Van Zieks, what of Dr. Scythe?
First of all, this music is insane.
An immediate warrant for her arrest has been granted, and she's been remanded in custody, my lord. I presume she will face trial in the upcoming days, along with Mr. Drebber.
A most regrettable situation indeed. She's made great contributions to her profession over the years. It really is a hard truth to swallow. However, that is a topic for some future occasion. For now, Professor Hairbrain.
Oh, yes?
It seems there was a great deal more to your experiment than you realized. However, I think we can assume now that all the sordid details have been brought to light. This has been a very long and profound trial, but I'm pleased to say you are absolved of all guilt.
This whole experience has taught me a very great but painful lesson. Me, this dedicated scientist, this devotee of natural philosophy. I've been selfish and self-centered, and above all, a fool.
Professor.
I've spent my life thinking of nothing but my research. Misguided, believing that I could do whatever I set my mind to, despite my lack of talent. And the worst of it is, in the process, I've caused many others pain and misery. Others who are far, far greater people than I.
No, Professor, that's not true!
What?
Don't tar yourself with the same brush as Drebber. What's happened was his doing and his alone. This outcome is his fate, not yours. You're not to blame in any way.
Lord Van Zeeks.
And the derision with which he referred to you earlier, calling you a fool, talentless even. The man has no idea. To believe in yourself and work your fingers to the bone to realize your dreams. That's laudable, not laughable! No one has the right to deride another for such choices!
Oh! Thank you, Baroque!
So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
Yes, my lord.
it is the court's expectation that you will find the defendant not guilty of the charge of which he stands accused. I presume there are no objections?
None for me, my lord.
Certainly not. This trial has really made me think, but this is the right decision. You shall be proven before the claim rigorously, of no misgivings whatsoever.
I ain't be having all these days. I reckon on the place.
Very well. In that case, I hereby pronounce the defendant not guilty!
That's a hard one to do. Oh man, I gotta take a break after this. Holy shit. Oh my god. Ugh.
Court is adjourned.
So, 10 years ago, Enoch Drebber was a university student. He was a bright scientist with an equally bright future. I'm going to read what really happened this time. Having won the award, saying as much, but he was poor, took to grave robbing to sell fresh corpses on the black market. A man later found to be a professor, emerged from his grave only to be shot. Drebber told his story and no one would listen. That was some trial. Hold on. The article sealed Drebber's fate. It doesn't seem like they explain what really happened. Oh shit, I just spoiled shit for myself. God fucking damn it. Professor, what a splendid outcome, isn't it?
Oh yes, it is! Congratulations, Professor Hairbrain!
Mr. Naruhodo, Miss Susato, I am truly beside myself with gratitude! How can I ever thank you enough?
I'm just glad it's all been cleared up. That you realize you were just caught up in a bad situation.
Ah! Right now, you know, if I had that research grant money, I'd give the whole lot to you, every penny!
Well, it's very kind, but I'm just a student, so...
We don't need any financial reward. Your acquittal is more than enough.
Oh dear, what can I do? Aha! How about this? As a memento, the paper about my hypothesis is inside.
Well, just as a memento then. Thank you.
I've been wondering, Professor, what are you going to do now?
Oh my, yes, what am I going to do now? My hypothesis and my great machine lie in ruins. But still, it's been too long since I was last in London, so perhaps I'll enjoy some sightseeing. I must explore the great exhibition whilst I'm here too, and see if new inspiration hits me.
Oh yes, that's a wonderful idea.
I can't allow that. I don't know who the
I can't allow that.
Lord Van Zeeks, what are you doing in here?
Baroque! I'm sorry you had to go through that, Albert.
Well, if I'm honest, it was terrifying. You were like a great demon behind your bench there, snarling down on your prey.
They're so gay.
You're one of the few true friends I have. I couldn't leave it to anybody else to handle the prosecution or the defense.
Sorry? Or the defense? Did I just hear that right? I always knew you had my best interest at heart. Don't worry. How about you show me around while I'm here in town? It's been a long time since we left university. We have a lot to catch up on.
Listen, Albert. In a few days, your acquittal will be made official. When that happens, you must head straight to Dover. I'll accompany you.
What?
From there, you'll cross the channel and make your way back to Germany. I've already purchased the tickets.
But no! Hold on a minute, Baroque! What about the great exhibition?
This is the No sightseeing, Albert. Give up on the idea.
Sometimes it's hard to see any warmth in those eyes, Baroque.
Lord Van Zeeks. What's this all about?
A necessary precaution. Yes, I think I understand.
You do?
Well, Iris told me that when you met Lord Van Zeeks at his office some days ago, he asked how Mr. Natsume was doing.
Yes, that's right. I remember being surprised at the time and thinking it was nice of him to ask.
The point is, Mr. Natsume is still alive and well, even though it's been more than 6 months now since he stood trial with the Reaper as the prosecutor.
You mean the Reaper's influence doesn't stretch overseas?
Those in the Reaper's sights meet their end days or sometimes months after their acquittal. That's been the pattern up to now. But of course, we know that Mr. Natsume and Gino were completely innocent. True. And perhaps that governs the Reaper's actions. The truly innocent are spared. But I don't want to take any chances with a close personal friend.
Baroque!
Like the mustached Nipponese, this man should leave the country without delay. That's why I'm packing him off to Germany at once!
Right. Does your friend-shaped package get any say in it?
Goodness, was this your intention all along, Landlord Van Zeeks?
In court, where people think of him as the Reaper, this man seems absolutely merciless, and yet sometimes it feels as though I don't understand him at all. Yeah, he's like a good guy, I think, other than being like racist.
It's time to go, Albert. Back to the prison for the time being.
Oh, yes, alright. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you so much for everything! Not at all, Professor. It was a pleasure getting to know you.
Best wishes, Professor Hairbrain.
Well, once the dust has settled, you must come and visit me in Germany! Anyway, goodbye for now! Okay, buddy, okay.
Now, my Nipponese friend.
Oh, yes? I thought you'd gone too.
We have matters to discuss. Can you spare me some time?
You want to talk with me?
I'll be waiting in the courtroom in 10 minutes.
How long does this take?
Well, that was strange. For some reason, I didn't get the sense of impending doom as he walked away this time. Okay, I'm not actually gonna read that. So hold on. For now, let me actually save the game. And I don't care if I have to bleed into the second episode, or into the fourth trial for the next episode. I'm gonna end it here. For now, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye!